Hello everybody and welcome back to another Pokemon News Weekly presented by the Game House. I'm Rob and we're going to be talking about all the different news, leaks, rumors, all that kind of stuff. And it's especially a big one today because this is the last one before Pokemon Day. That's right, a week from today it has been announced. It is guaranteed that we will be getting a new Pokemon Day with a bunch of different announcements. They've announced the trailer for, I guess, technically a Pokemon Presents. We knew it was Pokemon Day, Pokemon Presents. So we have a lot to go over today. There are announcements that we got to go over. There are some theories that I have, and there are theories slash rumors or leaks that other people have about Pokemon Day and Pokemon Legends ZA, as always, here near the back. So make sure that you like and subscribe if you enjoy Pokemon content, as we have it coming out almost every single day. And also make sure to let me know, in the comment section below what you guys think of all this. What are your official predictions? I will be putting out my official predictions next week in anticipation. Hopefully nothing gets leaked before then, but you know, we'll have to see. I have predictions for different mega forms I think I'm going to do, definitely who the starters are and what I think is actually going to be coming out for the game. So make sure you guys lock it in here at the Game House. But let's start with the news. So the New Year Festival, I believe it's for the Chinese New Year, in specifics, is going to be out here now. Blastoise has the Crystal Tag Hollowware, some new stuff for you guys to grab for Blastoise with this New Year's Festival style outfit that is going on with Pokemon Unite. So, Suicune is also going to be coming at some point. I think we're going to get the announcement for that next week. If you want to know more about that, check out one of my videos in the past. Continuing on here. Pokemon Go, the Pokemon Go Unova tour is happening right now. Or Pokemon Go Tour Unova is happening. You can see that there are some big things coming on. They're already starting to make the announcements for Melota that'll be coming, and makes sense singing in front of a big stage. Then you have Reshiram. I'm sure they'll have Zekrom, and then an announcement for that as well. And then it looks like Team Rocket is going to be causing some issues there in Los Angeles as well. So if you're in the LA area, or if you're a big Pokemon Go fan, this may be a good time for you to go and hang out with a bunch of other like-minded folks, big fans of Pokemon Go, walking around, talking, playing games, all that kind of stuff. I wish I had more time. Like, I really truly do, to play Pokemon Go. I live in an area where there are no Pokestops, so it kind of makes it really tough for me to play the game, first off, and then secondly, even going to places that have Pokestops are pretty far for me, unfortunately. So if you can't tell, kind of live out in the middle of nowhere, so makes it a little bit tough, but it definitely is a fun game. It's a good game, and I'm excited for the Go Tour. I'm excited to learn more about it and see what all happens with it. But the big news of the day, we have the official Pokemon Presents announcement, and it's going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm on the East Coast, EST for me. I believe it's 14 UTC for everybody who wants to, find a way to connect that for yourselves. But this is a big deal, and they're doing it in the morning, to kick off Pokemon Day here in the United States. Obviously, it's going to be everywhere, but again, I'm talking from my personal perspective with this. It's a big deal. They've got a lot, I think, planned. We don't know how long it's going to be yet. That will get leaked at some point. I'm going to try to cover as much of that stuff as I can, put some stuff out there for you guys as I see things. But again, we already knew Pokemon Day was on next Thursday. We are going to be able to really, I think, get a good look at a lot of things. I'm not going to give away all my predictions right now, but I will give you one. We are going to get a Pokemon Legends ZA trailer. That is pretty much guaranteed at this point. If we don't, then that means that they are potentially pushing it back to next year, and I think Pokemon fans like myself might honestly just keel over. I can't take another, year plus of no content, no other games. Pokemon TCG Pocket has scratched that itch, but not a lot for me. Not enough in my mind. So I hope you guys look forward to this. This is going to be fun. I will say, I'll tell you guys now, we are going to have another episode of this that'll come out right afterwards. I will probably be doing a video analysis. I'll probably be doing one of these news, updates with everything that has been announced and shown. So you guys should lock it in, because there's going to be a lot of content coming out next week. I'm excited for it. The other thing I want to talk about, and this one's the theory. this is my theory here. So we talked last week about this balloon, right? And the Eevee that was shown and all of the other things that came with that. I am intrigued. I'm incredibly intrigued because I know balloons mean celebration. I understand that these are the different, Pokemon in terms of the evolutions, right? This is the year of evolutions. But my goodness, they are pushing this very hard for Pokemon Day. We are getting something on Pokemon Day Eevee-wise. What is it going to be? I can't say that I know. But you can notice even in this video, right? Like there are, I don't know, there's a lot of things going on here. And I guess I want to start with, just the coloring, even like up here, right? There are the different evolutions that are all colored through here. And then we've got each one of them for, the new Pokemon. But there's like I don't know. It feels like there's like a big area in here in the middle that's kind of missing. So let's go through the evolutions really quickly, right? So you got Sylveon, Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon, I would guess Glaceon, Eevee, Leafeon, and then I guess we'll have Umbreon, Espeon, and then it looks like maybe they just repeat it down here with Jolteon. So I don't know if like this pink is representative of both, but it is just odd to me that they keep pushing this. They keep pushing the colors. It feels really like we're gonna finally get a new evolution this year. I am crossing my fingers big time. I would love to know what you guys think because I'm so convinced that we are going to, right? There's just so many, I don't know. It could also just be that they are just doing a bunch of stuff for, the year of evolutions. I don't know for sure, but it's starting to feel like this is a real possibility, that this is going to happen, and I'm very excited at it. It's like they are just kind of pushing this out there for everybody to say, hey, look what's coming, but we're not going to fully reveal it yet. I don't know. I could be, again, just huffing on a ton of hopium like everybody else is, but it's just interesting to me that, like, we're talking about Pokemon Day, and the two big Pokemon Day things that I've seen, at least in terms of advertising, have involved Eevee as much as Pikachu. So you guys will have to lock it in here and let me know what you think. I keep saying that, but I really am. I need your guys' help with this because I feel like I might be overstating things. So hopefully I'm not. Let's head into the rumors. So we're going to start here with an interesting rumor. I'm going to work my way from front to back in terms of what I think is most or I don't know, least likely kind of ones that are maybe a little bit more like, I'm going to save the Legends ZA ones and the Pokemon Day ones for like specific Pokemon Day, not the things in Pokemon Day ones for later. So let's go through this one here. This one is very interesting to me. Pokemon Memories and Pokemon Reminiscence? Yeah, Reminiscence. Remnants. I don't remember. My brain is totally farting on. I know what word this is, but for some reason I can't say it. Doesn't matter. I'm going to move on. Both are collections of Gens 1 through 3 games co-developed by Nintendo, presumably Nerd, which I don't know if I know that one. They do the NSO emulator and the Pokemon Works, which is formerly Ilka. We knew that one. Memories includes Red, Gold, and Ruby and Fire Red, and Reminiscence includes Blue, Silver, Sapphire, and Leaf Green. Yellow, Crystal, and Emerald are standalone digital only, but are included as a download code bonus in the physical double pack. So, I guess I'll finish this and then we'll talk about it. Digital versions released same day, physical releases on March 13th. Not sure about pricing, I wasn't shown. Digitally, all games in the collection are available standalone too. They're individual apps, which is interesting. A big talking point in the presentation is that because all the games in the collection will have two-way home support, the gap between Gens 1, 2, and 3 has officially been bridged. You can get the Gen 3 ribbons and contest battle memory ribbons on Gen 4 through 9 Pokemon that are available in Gen 3, which is interesting. Why would Gen 9 Pokemon be in there? Home support will be rolled out per gen, though not available right away. No timeline was given. Online play is mentioned. but none other than starting. You can use all link features with people near and far via local or online communications. They showed Gen 1 trade and Gen 2 battle, RS contests, Fire Red and Leaf Green, Union Room, AMA. I don't have access to the rest of the presentation other than the headlines: Pokemon Go, Masters EX, TCG Pocket, Sleep tie-in events, animation updates, and a ZA trailer. So this would be kind of a letdown, I think, for what they said. If we're only getting a ZA trailer and these Game Link ones, I think, people would be kind of bummed because you can already buy Gens 1 and 2, I believe, on the Nintendo Store and play those. So why would you want to go out? I know that they like to repackage things, but it's like they're basically blocking Gen 3 content behind getting Gen 1 and 2 with this new bundle, and you're not going to get Yellow, Crystal, or Emerald, which are some of the best ones of these like collective series. So, but you can buy them separately. So, I don't know. It feels like a weird way for Pokemon to package things. I don't think that they would do this, to be honest with you. I have seen a lot more people starting to kind of talk about us getting some sort of combo for the older games, so maybe that is what's going around, but maybe it won't look like this, and maybe it is going to come out. I don't mind the idea of you can get the digital version on the day of. That sounds awesome, with physical releases a couple weeks later, but I just don't know if I see that happening in this way. There's another theory that I think we're going to get to today, I can't remember exactly, that I think is a little bit more likely than this one, but we'll have to see. Let me know what you guys think. As always, I'm curious about this one, but I think we may be heading down that collections route, but I don't know if this is going to be the way they're going to do it. All right, here we go. Here's another one. This one is a Black and White remakes rumor. So this one is very specific. Thank you to Hidden Power Podcasts, by the way, for actually putting all this together. They make it a little bit easier for people like myself to find these things because I don't use 4chan at all, and as of right now, none of you guys are showing me here. I'm making this a little bigger for you guys so you guys can read all of it. None of you guys are sending me any of these rumors. If you guys see any, let me know. But let's go into this. Will be the final announcement. So this, I guess, the Black and White remakes in the Pokemon Presents Direct, foreshadowed by a Zekrom and a Reshiram plush behind Zunikazu Ishihara, as he is once again presenting. All Pokemon from Gens 1 through 5 are obtainable, okay? Alongside regional forums and evolutions of from future gens, which is kind of surprising. I would be interested to see Hisui and Samurott in this game. Maybe. Pokemon from Pokemon Sleep will be transferable over and will appear in Dream Balls with their hidden abilities. Trading/battling with Scarlet and Violet is planned, but it won't be available on release. Routes from Black and White 2 are available to explore in the post-game as well. So basically they're saying that this is going to be Black and White 1 with a little bit of Black and White 2 at the end. Additional episodes will be sold as DLC. The two currently planned are Episode Gray, where you must stop Neo Team Plasma and the Shadow Triad from capturing Kyurem, and Episode Pink, which will focus on new lore for Enamorus. Interesting. Each DLC adds around 200 Pokemon to the game. Trailer ends with a camera pan over the giant chasm before the Terra symbol briefly flashes before the screen fades to black. So I don't know about this one, guys. Why would this be the final announcement? I really feel like Legends ZA is going to be the final announcement, but I guess they could do this as like oh, and by the way, that's not all that we have. That could be cool. I don't think anybody would hate that. If they have Zekrom and Reshiram, or Zekrom and Reshiram, plushies in the background, then like either A, they are just trolling the crap out of us, or B, we are going to get an announcement. So I'm cool with that. All Pokemon from Gens 1 and 5, cool, no worries there. Pokemon Sleep, I'm sorry, I don't really use it, so great. I'm glad that they can be transferable. Maybe that'll help people, continue, build out their living dexes. Trading and battling with Scarlet and Violet is interesting. Are you going to be able to take, and I guess, do they say this here? No. That was the other one. Gen 9 Pokemon, are you going to be able to trade them over? Like, why would that be the case? I don't see battling as well, I guess could make sense, but why would trading work? Can you only trade Pokemon from Gens 1 through 5? There are Gen 5 Pokemon that are not available in Scarlet and Violet as well, so I don't know if I really kind of agree with that. Why would they put the routes in Black and White 2 at the end of the game as well? That really doesn't make sense. And then why would they sell 2 different DLCs for this? It would be cool. I wouldn't hate some extra content for these games, but like, they already have 2 full games that are very different than Black and White. Like, or at least they felt very different to me. They are different from where you start. There are different Pokemon in the game. The story is totally different. The gyms are different. Like, why would they do this? This one feels very strange. And then the last thing that makes it feel like it's definitely not going to happen is the terrestrialization. There's no shot. Like, why would they do that? We're getting new megas already. Like, I know that the terrestrialization wouldn't necessarily mean that we are getting, you know, I don't know, anything new with the game, but like, why would that be something that's like, oh, yay, we have terrestrialization now in Black and White? Like, maybe you guys are excited about that. Maybe I am discounting other people with their feelings on that, but that certainly wouldn't do it for me. I just don't think that this is, I don't see this happening. So we'll move on. Two more to go through. Okay, this one's Legend ZA specific, I believe, and then the next one is, I think this one's just Pokemon Day stuff in general. So I think I mixed that up. Let's do the Pokemon Day one first, then we'll do Legend ZA. Partner Pokemon Celebration announcement for Go, a month-long event in April with increased starters Pokemon spawn rates. Cool. Sounds good. Pokemon Go Tour announced, focusing on Unova. We already have that, so okay. Keldeo Dex completion reward in Pokemon Home. We've heard rumors of that. I don't know if they've officially announced it yet. I don't remember seeing that, but we know that that's probably coming out, so good for them for at least knowing what's happening now. Drowsy and Hypno in Pokemon Sleep. Shocked that they're not already in it, if that's the case. Suicune in Pokemon Night. Again, they've been paying attention. Good. Professor Sada and Professor Turo getting added to Pokemon Masters EX with Slitherwing and Iron Moth. That would make sense to me, but I would have thought that they would have gotten Koraidon and Miraidon, so interesting choices, but hey, you know, that could happen, could get added later. Flapple and Appleton getting added to Cafe Remix, cool, could totally see that happening. Again, don't play Cafe Remix, so, you know, maybe. This one's interesting to me, a new mini set in Pokemon TCG Pocket focusing on Arceus, A2A Original Temples, so, it feels like a lot of people, I thought that we were going towards the Giratina route, but it seems like this one's going towards the Arceus route. I could see either of them, honestly, and I wouldn't mind either of them. I also wouldn't mind if they just ended up doing Arceus and Giratina, so that could certainly happen. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Now we're going to get into the other stuff. So this is the stuff I'm going to just read through, and then we'll go back over again. A new trailer for Legends EA set in present-day Kalos. You work with Sycamore and the Kesar Initiative to turn Lumiose into a mecha for people and Pokemon alike. Basically the same gameplay as Pokemon Legends Arceus, 8 different parts of the city, 5 districts, an outskirts, sewers, and a central hub. You use a device that has a new Porygon form, Porygon AI. Oh boy, okay, your missions shape how Lumiose looks, and the missions adjust to that. Porygon AI begins glitching out and causing space-time rifts. 2 other Sycamores, a younger and an older one, come through the rifts and warn about how certain actions affect certain things, including the awakening of a dangerous Pokemon, later revealed to be a new one called Arobata, something like that. The rifts cause Mega Evolution spikes, setting up the 5 boss battles. I know they're Gogoat, Florges, Aegislash, Heliolisk, and Noivern. Trailer only shows Gogoat. Additional new megas include the Kalos starters, yay, Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, Arabota, and Pokemon Legends ZA's starters, which means that they won't be the Kalos starters. Arabota is a counterpart to Zygarde, also a snake dragon with the ability to shapeshift and has cores of its own, rainbow and more angular, is said to be the mother of Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde. The trailer ends with a release date of July 25th. The starters run on screen, Piplup, Snivy, and Scorbunny. Now, is this the one? Okay, so this is the one that actually has images with it as well. So these are little, like, the Zygarde forms, but they are for, it looks like, what is this, for Araboda? Also with this, you will see that, you know, they put a little date down there, which is interesting. And it looks like even up here, right, the Mega Stones, right, are with these Pokemon. So maybe they are the ones that help to create the Mega Stones in some way, and that's how they shapeshift or something like that. That could be really interesting. But let's start top to bottom here. Present day Kalos. I made a video on whether this is future or past. You can go back and watch it if you would like to. I think present day going into the future makes the most sense to me. Wouldn't be surprised by that. With Sycamore and the Quasar initiative working together to turn it into a mecha for people and Pokemon alike. Now, there's connections that could be with Pokemon Black and White for this as well. So do not hate that whatsoever. Same gameplay as Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think that would make the most sense. 8 different parts is really nice. The districts, the outskirts, the sewers, and the central hub. That's great. Pokemon form with Porygon AI would be interesting. I don't know why they wouldn't just continue with Rotoms, excuse me. Why they would go with a Porygon AI, I don't know, because it doesn't like, Porygon doesn't really possess stuff like Rotom does. That's the whole point of it. So that part makes me really question this one. But I love this idea that our missions shape how Lumiose looks and the missions adjust to that. So like, yes, in Pokemon Legends Arceus, right, like we help to build out the town, make it feel safer, all that stuff. But the missions adjusting to what you choose could be so big. Like finding the best path to create the best Lumiose city would be really, really fun. And I think, oh man, making content for that would be outstanding. Really would love to see what you guys think of that one. I would love that. It almost sounds too good to be true, unfortunately. The Porygon, you know, glitching and causing a space-time rifts, fine. But why a younger and an older one would be warning you of how certain things are affected? Why would the younger one be telling you about that? Because what we're doing in this timeline wouldn't really affect the younger Sycamore, unless if for some reason he's like also doing teleportation or time, you know, time travel. I don't know. This is the part that actually makes me feel like this is pretty unlikely, if I'm being honest with you. It's a bit of a bummer, but I just don't know if I see this one happening, literally specifically because of this. But awakening the Araboda Pokemon makes a lot of sense to me, to be honest with you, because I think the A could be another Pokemon, you know, that we haven't seen before. So I have no issues with that. That makes sense to me. Also, the boss battles being Go-Goat, Florges, Aegislash, Heliolisk, and Noivern all make sense to me. They're 5 Pokemon from this region. I think that seems very likely to happen. The difference is in the last one is that those were our ride Pokemon, so I don't really know how these ones would work. Maybe Go-Goat is, you know, riding around. What Florges would do, maybe attract Pokemon to you. I don't really know. That one would be weird to me. Aegislash is maybe one that helps you tear things down. Heliolisk could be used to like flash, I guess, maybe when you're in the sewers or something like that, and then Noivern would fly you around. So I could see all those things happening and the megas that they say, but there are going to be more megas than this. That's the other problem I had, is it's not just going to be the Kalos starters, the Legends ZA starters, and these 4 legendary Pokemon. It's almost guaranteed to be other Pokemon beyond those. So maybe it's going to be as well that it's only Go-Goat, Florges, Aegislash, Heliolisk, and Noivern. Maybe it's just those 5 as well. But I think they're going to do at least 15 to 20 of them. And this is what? That would be 3, 6, 11, 15. Actually, that would be 15. So maybe this is it. I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't take the opportunity to do some megas for Pokemon like Flygon, like Dragonite, some of the older ones, and even some of the newer ones as well. I guess, I could see it happening. It just would be a bit of a letdown for me personally. The Araboda being a counterpart to Zygarde, that's cool. You're collecting shards again, or not shards, cores. Excuse me, they give a different game. And then the release date of the 25th, and Piplup, Snivy, and Scorbunny being the Pokemon make a ton of sense to me. I'm not going to reveal, as per usual, my 3 starters that I think is going to do it. You will have to check back. There will be a video coming out on that next week. But I can already tell you that one of my 3 choices, at least one of my 3 choices, are in those 3. So that's cool. I'm going to cancel this one out. I'm going to say this isn't likely. It's a cool idea, though. They did a good job, but I don't think that's going to happen. All right, last one here. Legends ZA information from Anonymous, as always, from 4chan here. Last one. Game takes place in Lumio City, including the outskirts. A lot of people talk about the outskirts. I think that's likely too. Divided into 5 areas with 3 layers, though. Now that's interesting. Sky, ground, and underground. So it'd be like 15 areas. That could be fun. I wouldn't hate that. It takes place after the X and Y events, but it's not a direct sequel. Maybe. Okay. A new professor, because Sycamore retired, but is an important character in the Mega storyline. This is how you get / discover the Kalos starter Megas. Now, what's interesting to me is, like, with Megas, if I remember correctly with the story, right, like, you are finding out about some of these Megas for the very first time, right? And they're still trying to learn about them and everything like that. You know, one of the problems I've always had with continuity of Pokemon is it's like, well, where are all these new Pokemon coming from that people have never seen before, right? At least with the Mega storylines, I could totally see things going forward with it being like, yeah, you're discovering these stones that react with these Pokemon for the very first time. That seems totally plausible to me. I think kind of how Dynamaxing was like, you know, hey, we're finding these new areas that enhance just these certain Pokemon and Dynamax them in this way. This is making sense to me. The starters are from Gen 7, 8, and 9. Poplio, Water Poison Primarina, evolved after living around in the sewers and giving performances for Pokemon living there. Scorbunny, Fire Fairy, Cinderace, evolved after stealing treats from all the bakery shops. Sprigatito, Grass Psychic Meowscarda, gained psychic powers after the species had been bred for the use to use for trickery on the streets by scammers. All Megas return, except for the Hoenn starters and legendaries. Battles are still turn-based, but with real-time elements. Okay, that would be cool. A gauge that fills up after using regular moves allows your Pokemon to Mega Evolve. Megas are still powerful, so whoever evolves them first in the battle usually wins it. No limit in the amount of Megas you can do. Outside of battle, you can toggle on Mega forms to walk around and interact with them. Legends Arceus interactions returned, except Pokemon can now move in the environment. But only in a certain radius from the player. First Pokemon in party can be fully controlled using the plus button, expanded from the Synchro Machine, okay, which is powered by infinity energy. Although the name of the machine is different, they can encounter hidden Pokemon and items on places that you cannot get to as the character. New flying evolution called Saurion. Antagonist resurrected the long-lost A legendary, works similar to Zygarde. Lots of components the antagonist is collecting. Wants to take over Lumio City as a part of his world domination plan. Has a god complex and wants to be the Arceus of the world, like a dictator. She wants to decide who should live and who should die. You meet Zygarde 10% form in the garden of your house. Injured. Cell fetching time. Okay. There's a lot of things with this one that are... I think we're starting to get guesses that are piecing things together in an interesting way. The 5 areas make a ton of sense. I think that would be awesome. Taking place after X and Y again. I already said why I think that's a good idea. A new professor. Sycamore retiring. We got a new professor in the last game, in Legends Arceus as well. But Sycamore still being in the story is pretty cool. Again, I already talked about the Megas. The starters. This is where I have a problem. 7, 8, 9. I don't think they're going to do that. I really don't. I don't think that Sprigatito, as popular of a Pokemon as it is, as popular as Meowscarda is, I just don't see this happening. Mainly because I don't think that while we are, obviously Sprigatito was well, into development and everything by the time they were making these games. I believe I read somewhere or heard that they had started making these games pretty much right after Legends ZA or Legends Arceus did so well. So it's been in development. I just can't imagine that they would not already have the starters picked out before Sprigatito. So we'll have to see. I don't really know how I'm feeling about these 3 starters. This is where things are interesting. All Megas return, but there are no new ones. Like, why wouldn't you, add something about the new Megas? Like, where are these new Megas? You have a gauge, the battles are still turn-based, but with real-time elements. That would be awesome. The real-time elements, I think, would make it so much fun. It would make it feel like like the anime battles. Like, the anime battles were always so much fun. And then a gauge that fills up after you use regular moves, and that's what allows your Pokemon to Mega Evolve. That would be a cool mechanic, but a lot of times you're one-shotting Pokemon, so I don't really see why that would happen unless if they are making battles very different and extending them with this new real-time elements. That could be cool. I wouldn't hate it, but what are you going to do if you're one-shotting Pokemon? Do you get to Mega Evolve after that and makes you just one-shot them even more? That just feels like a faulty mechanic. And then outside of battle, you can toggle Mega Forms to walk around and interact with them. I could see that happening. They have the stuff about the interactions, which is great. What I love here is the first Pokemon in the party and the talking about Synchro Machine. I don't think that was added as an accident. You get a lot of things that happen in earlier games that kind of speak to what's coming next, right? So with Sword and Shield, right, we got the big open area, then we got Legends Arceus, that was all open area, and obviously Scarlet and Violet, that was all that. I think they added Synchro Machines to kind of test some things out and get you ready, because I do think the Catacombs and the sewers, I think your Pokemon are going to be able to help you do things in games moving forward in a very serious way, and I love this idea. I think that would make sense completely. Flying Evolution, obviously they've been paying attention to these videos. Sorion would make a ton of sense. I could absolutely see that happening, but again, this was written well after the Terra leaks, so take that with a grain of salt. Take all this with a grain of salt, obviously. The antagonist reviving a long-lost legendary makes sense. Deciding who lives or dies, that's a pretty intense thing for a kid's game. Could be possible, though. I'm not going to say it's not. And then meeting the Zygarde 10% form in the garden of your house injured makes sense too. You just happen to be chosen. That's how a lot of these games work. So, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Love some of these ideas. No shot that this is real. There's just not. Like, there's so many things that they're leaving out that they are just kind of, I don't know, weakly referring to, but not actually giving the details of. Yet they have super insane details for some of these other areas. Like, I don't know. I could see it. I could see some of these things happening, but this one feels pretty unlikely as well. You could probably put this one in the nope pile for me in terms of how realistic it is. But I love that people are coming up with these things. They're very fun to talk about. They're very fun to look into, and I hope that you guys are enjoying it too. I wanted to wait. I'm sorry, this was coming out a little later than normal. I wanted to wait to see if there was going to be any more, I don't know, leaks or potential rumors that came out right after they announced Pokemon Day, being next week, or Pokemon Presents, coming out next week, but didn't get to hear about that. That's fine. That's how it is. So I'm sure there will be news, and I'll have to grab it if I can. I will try my best to, because this is the week before Pokemon, Presents. We're going to finally get some new information about these games. We are finally getting new games for Pokemon this year. I am just ecstatic. I hope you guys are too. And like I said, I hope you guys will like and subscribe. I hope you guys will join me for this awesome Pokemon adventure that we are all going on right now. But that is going to wrap it up for us on this episode of Pokemon News Weekly. So with that, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.